It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove. It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove. It's gonna take all night. It's gonna take you in the groove.
Let's take a look at some basic moves we can use to turn two short vocal phrases into a call and response hook for a dance track. We're going to start with a basic 4-bar drum loop, which is going to provide us a rhythm to fit the samples around. With two vocal phrases to work with, phrase A,
It's gonna take all night.
and phrase B.
You gotta get in the groove.
Although they're from the same vocalist, the timing, pitch and timbre doesn't quite match, so we need to do some work to make them fit. Let's start by dragging phrase A to the start of that first bar, just to see how it sounds.
It's gonna take all night.
Obviously the timing sounds all wrong there. Might sound a bit better at the midpoint of the bar, so we'll try it at beat 1.3.
It's gonna take all night.
It's now kind of obvious that this second word is the one that needs to sit on the downbeat, so let's shift this forward a little bit.
It's gonna take all night.
That's sounding better already. Let's give it a try with the second phrase. Again, we're going to place this in the same place in the third bar, just to see how it sounds as is.
You gotta get in the groove.
Once again, it's obvious that the second word, gotta, is the one that needs to sit on the downbeat, so let's move this forward a bit.
You gotta get in the groove.
There's still work to be done on the timing though, so let's try Live's clip view. Here we can warp it and adjust the timing of the syllables in our vocal phrase. Live has already tried to warp this clip for us, but let's use the Complex Pro algorithm for the best results.
You gotta get in the groove.
Making this work is a case of experimentation. What we want to do is make the rhythm fit our track, but we don't want it to sound too warped and unnatural. We can maybe shorten some words and adjust the placement of others so the vocal phrase fits nicely with what's going on in our track.
You gotta get in the groove. You gotta get in the. You gotta get in the groove. You gotta get in the groove.
By shortening a couple of these words, we've got something that's sounding quite nice. Let's try them together to see how it all sounds.
It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove.
With the timing sorted, let's turn to pitch. For this, we're going to use Melodyne from Celemony. Melodyne's an excellent pitch adjustment tool which can work on monophonic and polyphonic audio. However, you can do a lot of what we're doing here with simple tuner utilities and basic audio editing tools, so don't feel you need to shell out on an expensive plugin to make this work. What we're going to do is transfer our audio to Melodyne so that we can take a closer look at what's going on with the pitch.
It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove.
Let's speed up the process a little to make this quicker. And what we're doing is moving around notes to fit our desired scale of B flat minor. We can also tighten up the tuning a little just to make everything fit better with the melody of our track. The aim here is to make it all sound a little bit tidier, but without it sounding unnatural. So we're keeping any pitch adjustments fairly subtle, and we're not making the pitch too perfect.
It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove.
That sounded pretty good. What we're going to do now is tie these two elements together using a few effects. What this will do is help to unify them and put them in the same sort of space, as if they were recorded in a single take. The first thing we're going to use is a vintage console emulation. This is adding a bit of warmth and making it sound as if the two parts were recorded through the same vintage desk.
It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove.
Now we're also going to use Live's stock compressor, and this will just help us keep control of the dynamics a little.
It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove.
Finally, we're going to add a little reverb. Plate reverb is great on vocals. This will just add a little bit of unifying space to make it sound as if they're in the same room.
It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove.
With our basic vocal hook complete, we've frozen and flattened the audio, and we made a few edits to help add interest and help keep the listener's attention across the course of a longer track. The first thing we did was grab the word night from the end of phrase A, which we've added a Roland space echo emulation with a bit of ping pong delay. This is helping to fill the gap between phrase A and phrase B. Let's hear that in action.
It's gonna take all night.
Reverse effects are great on vocals as well. We've grabbed the end of phrase B, reversed it, and used some send effects and turned the gain down a little bit to turn it into a bit more of an effect sound. This is basically pulling us into the second loop of our vocal phrase.
Gotta get in the groove. It's gonna take all night.
To add a bit of variation, on this second repeat of phrase B, we've gone in and made some crude edits to create a sort of stutter effect. By adding little fades on the start and end of each of these sections, we avoid any unwanted pops.
It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove. It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove.
It's all sounding more interesting now, but it's still probably not enough to fill a full track. What we've also done is we've copied that entire section over and created a B version of our vocal hook. This has meant completely re-editing the vocal to change the rhythm and phrasing of our words. We've also added a garagey bass line underneath to create this B section. Most of the words here are ones we've sliced out of the original vocal phrases. However, we've changed the positioning and timing so that you get a completely different vocal hook.
You gotta get in the groove. It's gonna take all night. It's gonna take you in the groove. It's gonna take all night. It's gonna take you in the groove.
Most of the elements of our B section here are ones that we just sliced out of our original phrase A and phrase B samples. However, to complete it, we wanted this word you here, which we've got in brown. This wasn't part of our original vocal phrases, so we've gone and found a similar sounding vocal phrase and simply sliced it out. Let's hear where that came from originally.
I'll give it all to you.
It's rough and ready, but we're well on our way to having something that will work on a finished dance track. Thanks for watching.
It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove. It's gonna take all night. You gotta get in the groove.